Welcome back to another episode of Ham Radio Playground. In this episode, we're going to talk about the fun we had over Memorial Day weekend and talk about some antennas. To start with, I'd like to take a moment of silence and remember those who made the ultimate sacrifice for our freedoms. Thank you for joining me in that moment of silence. Wow, what a weekend it was. So Saturday ended up being a not so nice weather-wise day for us here in central New York. And I had planned on doing some work around the house with my antennas, and it didn't happen. I ended up over here at the playground and worked on a couple of projects over the weekend. So Sunday, I get a text message in the morning from a buddy of mine, and you've probably seen him on this channel a couple of times or seen him in the comments. And Matt tells me that he's over with another mutual friend of ours, and they were setting up the BuddiHEX. And I was like, oh, gotta go check this out. So I hopped in the car and went over to the park that they were at and was able to capture the BuddiHEX already set up. They had already had it up and running. I guess the initial setup on it took like 30, 40 minutes, but it's the first time they ever set it up. So, it gets better with time, kind of like the DX Commander. The first time you set it up, you're like, oh man, this is crazy. Not going to work, right? For quick activations. So the antenna is very impressive, and I got some clips here to show you. I've got clips of each part that I'm kind of talking about. But what I want to do is just get through this, and then we'll just play the clips so that you guys can see them instead of splitting it up. So the BuddiHEX, very impressive, very massive. Folds down pretty compact into a couple little bags, including the mast that he had. Yeah, it was a great setup, and it worked so well. As you'll see in the clips that I share, a lot of it is U.S. contacts. What I didn't get was a Sweden contact. We weren't even pointed at Sweden. Contact Mexico. There was another one in Central America or South America. France was on there. Overall, between the multiple operators there, there was plenty of contacts to share around. I want to say they ended up 50 or 60 contacts in total in a very short period of time, which made it nice. And I had stopped over here to the playground just before heading over there because I had to grab a couple of things that I had picked up at Hamvention to share with my buddies. And that's key to the storyline because I'm going to share something with you that I walked into today. So today's Tuesday morning. I had actually planned on creating this video yesterday, but instead I took the day yesterday and spent some time with the family. The last few weeks have been chaotic, so I haven't had a lot of one-on-one time with them. So after being out playing in the field, watching that BuddiHEX, I was like, the sun's out, it's nice. I gotta get my Fed half wave put back up. I had to take it down just before Hamvention as we were getting the roof replaced on our house, and I needed to make sure it got taken down properly before the roofers took it down not properly. So great. I wanted to move it to a different tree this year anyways. So I was like, oh, this is going to work out perfect. Since I've been back from Hamvention, it's been a couple of weeks, it has been nothing but rain and nasty weather here in central New York. So I have not had the chance to put that antenna back up. So here was a perfect opportunity. And I took this opportunity to take my 15-year-old son out there with me and kind of get him into like throwing a bag up into the tree and, the whole process of setting up this antenna. And he was having a blast. I mean, I have a little kid's lacrosse stick that we use to kind of sling the bag up there. And he's like, I think I can free throw this. And he was coming pretty good, pretty dead on where he wanted to get. So we had a great time, him and I, just trying to, put this bag up in the air, and we're joking around about how close he's getting, and he's a branch away. Got caught a couple of times, and he had to learn the physics of shifting it just right to get the bag to lower, so you can remove the bag and just pull the string back, because the bag wouldn't go up over the branch because it wrapped around. But those are great opportunities for teaching moments with our youth. Get them involved in the hobby. He still has no interest in radios. He asks questions every now and then. But it's enough to put those little nuggets in their brain so that you build up and build that interest. So we're setting it up, and looking at where it was at in the tree, I was like, all right, that might work. It might be at the right height, because my backyard kind of slopes up. And then as we're trying to pull it up in, I'm realizing it's too low in the tree. I'm like, oh, maybe we'll just pull it a little bit more, and we're pulling on it, and it breaks free. And I'm like, no. So I'm like, all right, maybe it broke where our rope attaches to the end of the antenna. Nope. So I go to that piece, and I kind of pull a little bit. It pulls very easily from the house. And I'm like, so it broke at the house. Okay, no worries. I'll have to open up the box, reattach the wire, it'll be all good. No, couldn't get that lucky. It broke midway between the end and the house. And we had put so much tension on it that it just snapped. And I've got a clip showing you kind of what it looked like. There was a lot of tension put on it. So we called that a bust. And yes, I will replace that wire. Thank God it's not the whole box it's destroyed. It's just the wire. So I gotta roll out a length of wire, put it back in there, and then go through the process again. I did keep that rope in the tree, but I don't think I'm gonna keep it in that spot, because that spot ain't gonna work. I may just move it back to the spot it was in. So that put me to the thoughts of other antennas. And one I've looked at before, based on some reviews, but it's no longer manufactured, so you kind of got to find it on the used market somewhere. It's the Cushcraft R8. And I know some of you are going to throw in the comments, some of you are going to tell me, hey, Kevin, how's that different than the DX Commander Expedition you have? Well, it's the same concept, the same principle. You don't get as many bands in the R8, but the DX Commander lives in my truck. It's part of my portable setup. It's one that's always rolling with me. If I'm going to be out long term, that's the go-to antenna. If I want a quick activation, I've got the ATOS, got the JPC12, I've got ham sticks. We've got a variety of options for mounting and tripods, all kinds of other stuff to set them up on. But if I'm going to be out for a while, then I'll set up the DX Commander. And nothing against the DX Commander Expedition, but it just takes a few minutes to set up. It's a great antenna. I love it. So the Cushcraft, similar concept, but it's more designed to be a permanent antenna. And yes, there are people that take it as a portable antenna. And I think there's a video that I've seen on YouTube that a guy mounts it off the trailer hitch on his truck, but he's out in the desert area and has lots of room to play. But so I'm considering picking up one. I have an opportunity to grab one locally here. I just happened to put feelers out to see what somebody had for antennas, because they manage a lot of the estate sales for a local club. And he told me he's got an R8 sitting there in the box. Just needs to be assembled, put together. And the price is a really good price. So I think I might pull the trigger on that and do a permanent vertical at the house in addition to the end-fed half wave. And then I walked in today. So those of you that don't know, in the playground here, the back section is a 3D print farm. So for one of my other businesses and another YouTube channel we have, we manufacture a bunch of different home goods. We make stuff for and radio too. We have some antenna winders and some boxes and rails for different radios and some accessories and wire antenna band markers. Those are a hot seller. Trying to think what else we have. Well, all kinds of stuff. We do a lot of home decor, a lot of like business card holders that are all Second Amendment friendly, if you get my drift. We do a bunch of random stuff. There's even some kids' toys, dragons, fidget toy type things in there that, originally for my grandkids, and then we had other people asking for them, so we started making those too. But all kinds of stuff. We do a lot of replacement parts that are no longer found, a lot of wall mounts, everything else. Well, apparently yesterday, while I was taking the day off and relaxing, my wall of filament came crashing down. So I walked into a mess, and I'll show you a clip of that at the end of the video just for enjoyment purposes. But, let's roll with it. Let's start with the BuddiHEX, and then we'll roll into the NFET half wave, and then, I'll show you the mess that I walked into today. Alrighty, hopefully you're enjoying this video. If you could give us a thumbs up, and if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. Let's get to the action.
On 20 to make this happen fast. Yeah, I'm just going to go back to 20 because then I can rip this out.
So it's 6 through 20.
And US 6532 8078 6532 QSL.
QSL, thanks very much.
Hey, thanks for the park to park. Have a great activation in 7-3. This is Kilo Echo 2 Bravo X-Ray Zulu. Checking the frequency. Is the frequency in use? Third call. Is the frequency in use? Is the frequency in use? This is Kilo Echo 2 Bravo X-Ray Zulu. Checking the frequency. Nothing heard. Nothing heard. This is Kilo Echo 2 Bravo X-Ray Zulu calling CQ, CQ, CQ. CQ Parks on the air from US 8078 and US 6532. Standing by. CQ, CQ, CQ. CQ Parks on the air. This is Kilo Echo 2 Bravo X-Ray Zulu calling CQ Parks on the air from US 8078 and US 6532. Slow down.
Kilo, Quebec 4, Oscar, Quebec Lima, portable.
Kilo, Quebec 4, Oscar station. Come back one more.
Roger, Roger. Kilo, Quebec 4, Oscar, Quebec Lima, Oscar, Quebec Lima, QSL, portable.
Kilo, Quebec 4, Oscar, Quebec Lima, portable. I've got you a 5x9 into both parks, US 8078 and US 6532. QSL?
Roger the two parks. I've got you 5959 here in Central Tennessee, Tango November. Here at the campsite there, Roger.
Roger, Roger. Thanks for Tennessee, and thank you for picking me up today. All the best in 7-3.
73. You have a good activation.
Roger, Roger, will do. This is Kilo Echo 2 Bravo X-Ray Zulu calling CQ Parks on the air from US 8078 and US 6532.
Kilo Delta 9, Kilo Juliet Charlie, park to park.
Kilo Delta 9, Kilo Juliet Charlie, park to park. I have you 5x9 into US 8078 and US 6532. QSL?
QSL, I have you 59 Whiskey India, part number US 4282.
Roger the 5x9 into US 4282, Wisconsin, correct?
Roger, Roger. Glad to see you found an open frequency.
Man, I'll tell you what, I've been hunting. Oh, wow. It's one of those days. But much appreciated for reaching out, and I wish you all the best in your activation as well. 7-3 and POTA on.
7-3.
This is Kilo Echo 2 Bravo X-Ray Zulu calling CQ Parks on the air from US 8078 and US 6532.
Whiskey 5, Delta Sierra.
Park to park, come back. Park to park, please.
Kilo Delta 5, Papa India Tango.
Kilo Charlie 2 Mike Juliet Bravo. Doug, how are ya?
Peachy, buddy.
You are a big 5'9 plus 10 into US 8078 and US 6532. I think this is the longest contact of the day.
And it's a 5'9 both ways. That antenna is gangbusters.
Roger, Roger. Thanks, Doug. 7-3. I appreciate you being out there.
It snapped. We got it strung to a tree out further back, and it got hung up in some of the branches, and we were trying to pull it so it would raise up some more. And apparently we pulled too much. So this end goes back up to the house with the 80-meter coil on it to the box. At least it didn't pull out of the box. Well, it doesn't matter. I can take the box down and rewire this freaking thing anyways. Well, this is what I walked into today. Apparently, they all fell off the wall. It was probably a chain reaction. One started slipping and put weight on the others, and they all came crashing down.
All right. Hopefully you enjoyed those clips as much as I enjoyed making them. I really like that BuddiHEX. And I'd love to hear your opinions on the Cushcraft R8. If you have experience with one, pros, cons, throw them down in the comments below. And now I've got to go clean up that mess. As you can see, everything's on the floor. The joys of having fun. All right, time to kick the sand off my feet, get out of this sandbox, and go work. Doesn't sound like fun. Work. All righty, if you know somebody that'll enjoy this video, please share it with them. Hit that thumbs up if you got enjoyment out of this content. If you didn't, hit the thumbs down. That's okay too. You're at least engaging and showing YouTube you either like or dislike the content we're putting out. We like engagement. Positive, negative, doesn't matter. Engagement is what keeps us going and creating more videos for you. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button. It costs you nothing. Make sure you click that bell to get notified when we put out new content. Catch you on the next video.